The chains were cold, not just in temperature, but in spirit. As I stared down at the alien woman kneeling before me, her wrists and ankles bound in thick dark steel, something in my gut twisted. She looked up, skin the color of stormy twilight, hair wild like smoke and wind, and eyes stars. Literal stars. Golden specks shimmered in her irises like she held the cosmos captive behind her lashes. They called her my bride, a gift from the Volcari Dominion for my services in the Rim War. But I wasn't stupid. You don't wrap chains around a gift unless it's meant to stay caged, or you're trying to trap someone. The ceremony had been short and grotesquely ceremonial. No music, no vows. Just a group of stiff diplomats shoving her toward me, her knees collapsing from exhaustion as she hit the cold floor of my quarters aboard the Archangel. And then they left. "You're safe now," I said, kneeling beside her. She didn't answer. She just stared at the floor, the faint tremble in her arms the only hint she wasn't carved from stone. I reached for the locks on her chains. Ancient tech, manual. That meant they didn't want her breaking free with any clever tricks. The moment I touched the first shackle, her hand shot out and grabbed my wrist with surprising strength. "No," she rasped. Her voice was low, melodic, and weary. "Don't. If you free me, they'll hunt you too." I paused, blinking. "What do you mean? Who'll hunt me?" She looked up at me then, and for the first time, I saw what lay beyond those celestial eyes. Terror. The royal houses. The cartel lords. The ones who sold me. And the ones who paid for me. Her name was Saria, and she wasn't just some slave gift wrapped for a war hero. She was royalty. High-blooded Volcari nobility. Betrayed, shackled, and sold under the table by her own family. Her father had bartered her life to gain favor with the Dominion's Earth-allied generals. In exchange for peace, they gave them a bride. Me. I wasn't supposed to survive the transport, she told me that night, her voice barely louder than the ship's hum. But they didn't expect you to care. They clearly never met me. She laughed, a short, bitter sound. They'll call you traitor. Or worse. You don't understand the kind of power that moves in the dark between stars. I've faced worse, I said. No, she said. You haven't. 3 days later, Archangel received orders. Report to Dominion Command on Vorka Prime for debriefing. That was code for come quietly so we can kill you. I knew the trap was closing, so I made my choice. We ran. I falsified engine malfunctions and rerouted us through old smuggler paths along the fringe. Every comm transmission after that was an escalating death threat. The Dominion first claimed I'd stolen a diplomatic asset. Then they said I'd gone rogue. Finally, they declared open bounty on me and her. It was the third night in deep void space when I found her in the engine bay, huddled beneath the plasma core. She wasn't crying. Volcari didn't cry like humans. Their grief came in silent isolation. You were going to let them kill you, I said. Yes, she whispered. Why? She stared into the core's shifting light. Because I'd already been taken from everything that made me who I was. My name, my title, my people. What did it matter if they took my life too? I stepped closer and sat beside her. You still have your will. And you have me. She looked at me. Really looked at me. You don't owe me anything. I don't, I agreed. But I choose to. They chased us across stars. Pirates, bounty hunters, corrupted Earth officials who didn't want the embarrassment of a public scandal. All wanted us dead. We dodged them in asteroid fields, slipped past patrols in cloaked shuttles, and traded secrets for safe passage through systems that swore they never heard of us. Somewhere along the journey, survival turned into purpose, and purpose into connection. Saria wasn't just noble. She was brilliant, fluent in 9 interstellar codes, able to override ancient Dominion security with a glance, and navigate gravitational currents by instinct alone. She began to smile again. to speak more, to laugh at my terrible jokes. We weren't running anymore. We were fighting back. Eventually, we made it to Kalik Station, deep in a neutral gray zone. I knew an old friend there, Kara Vint, a former Earth Intel officer turned whistleblower. She got us fake IDs, clean records, and a meeting with someone who could help. The Zarnik Alliance. Enemies of the Dominion. You're sitting on a diplomatic nuke, Kara told me over spiced tea, nodding toward Saria. If the right people know she's alive, and with a human no less, they'll burn the stars to silence us, Saria finished. Or, Kara said, you burn them first. That's what we did. We released the truth, leaked the documents proving Saria's lineage, broadcast the secret treaty her father made, exposed the Dominion's war crimes, and showed the galaxy she was not a slave, but a survivor, a princess who had chosen not to rule, but to rebel. And I stood by her side. They came for us anyway, in ships darker than void, assassins in cloaks of light. One by one, we beat them. Every time we won, more systems began to question the Dominion. The legend grew, the chain bride who broke the stars, and the Terran soldier who chose her over power. Years passed. We never stopped moving, but the galaxy began moving with us. A rebellion bloomed in fractured places, not one built on flags or thrones, but on truth. Saria became a symbol, not of royalty, but of freedom. I watched her transform from a broken prisoner to a fierce voice that no longer trembled when she spoke. And one night, under the twin moons of a liberated world, I knelt before her, not in duty, but in love. I never freed you to make you mine, I said, but if you'd have me still. She touched my face. Her fingers traced the scar across my cheek, the one I got shielding her from a blast on Droz 9. You were never my jailer, she whispered. You were my escape, my future. We married not by ceremony, but by bond. No chains, no false thrones, just stars above us and a galaxy watching. Epilogue. They never stopped hunting us, but it didn't matter anymore, because every time they tried to erase our story, someone else passed it on. And somewhere in the great dark, a young girl hears the tale of a princess in chains and the soldier who didn't see a prize, but a person, who didn't ask for a bride, but gained a queen. And she dares to believe that love and freedom are worth fighting for, even when the stars burn against you.